Hey, dude. How are you?
What's up, Kyle?
I've been so excited to hear all of this new music finally. The songs that are out there sounds amazing so far. You guys have done it again, man.
Well, thanks, man.
I guess, we start with the last record. With the comeback record out of the way, did it feel more like business this time around? Was there a different sense going into this record than the last time?
Sure. Basically, like back to work. But this one was done a little more cohesively, and with most of this record was cut live with everyone in the room together. At least the basic tracks of 8 of the 10 songs were done that way. So in that regard, much different than the last record, which was like iterations of members of the group. This was the entire six-man group, all hands on deck.
And I know everyone's sort of concentrated on the darkness of these songs and everything, but I got to say, I've had a lot of fun listening to it. Like, they may be dark songs, but they're fun dark songs.
I don't think they're. I mean, I don't think they're like mopey. They have a degree of mischief involved with them as well. There's songs don't all have to be. People are multidimensional. I think the songs are too. They can be fun and sexy and complicated and scary all at once. Kind of like well, I'm not going to say it on the air. So
there's the mystery in itself.
Dot. Ellipsis.
Well, I think a lot of that does come from the imagery of this. I was kind of laughing when Demon in Profile came out because you'd gone from a beast to a demon. And, that definitely, and of course the artwork in itself. I mean, there's a lot of imagery that's just projected in there that sort of does set the tone. Whether you mean to set it in that way or not, I guess it's the way it's perceived. So when everyone starts concentrating on that, I'm guilty of it too. That was the first thing I saw was this portrait of a gothic America, I guess.
Right, sure. Or is it a tribute to Dio?
I would love it if you said 100% that this record is a tribute to Dio.
I will tell you this. Big fan of Ronnie James Dio. Met him once. Could not have been a nicer person.
That's good.
Yep.
I mean, you want people to live up sort of to the idea, but it's nice to hear that they're all human too. All you musicians are human.
Man, I saw Ronnie James Dio sing in Rainbow, so I go back that far.
You got me on that one. I'm a little bit behind you. I'll ask this question because it seems to be part of every interview that I'm in right now, but is some of this imagery have anything to do with what's been going on? With everything happening out there.
The artistic imagery?
Sure. Or even, just the metaphorical imagery in your lyrics. Dark music for dark times, that whole cliche.
Sure. Well, I've lived through other dark times, like when things politically don't go your way, I mean, it's not the only time it has happened in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I think this particular gentleman is, a rarer case and obviously has really cranked up people in a way they haven't been cranked up in a long time. And honestly, in that regard, if it took something like this to make people pay attention to what's going on around them, hey, maybe he did everybody a favor.
Well, I guess, though, that's the question, though. Did you find that it affected your writing at all?
Well, I mean, what affected me was the just the never-endingness of it. That campaign was always like it was like herpes all day long. You know what I mean? Like it just kept coming back. Like, I mean, I was exhausted by it. And the negativity, the daily negativity of it, like it was suffocating to me, honestly. I really didn't like anybody involved in it. You know what I mean? And just wanted it to go away. And then once it began to come into focus, I was like, oh dear. But that's the way life works,
Well, on the more personal side for you guys, did Dave's health affect this album?
We were pretty much done with the record when we found out that Dave was sick. And the only thing I had left to do was to write the lyrics for I Got Lost and sing them, and that's the only performance that came after the diagnosis. So,
okay.
I mean, we were all unaware, Dave included, during the making of the record.
Well, back on the song side of things, and again, you've got 2 singles out as we're recording this, Demon and Profile, which is I'm going to go ahead and say a monster of a song. It's so good. But then Arabian Heights comes out, and that groove, I mean, that's got to be one of the best grooves you guys have ever laid down to tape.
Yeah, I love that groove. And I've said this many times, but like, we're riding on the thoroughbred that is Patrick Keeler. And that is his drum. Like, it's follow the drummer. He changes it up 3 or 4 times during that song, but never ever lets it go. And a rock band is as good as its drummer, and we have a great one.
Was that also live with everybody in there?
Yes, absolutely. The only songs that were not recorded live are Birdland and The Spell. The other 8 songs are all recorded live.
I mean, it really has lent something to this record because, like I said, I mean, I loved the last record, and I think I gushed to you enough about that one as well. But this one feels like something entirely different. And, if you want to call this version 2 of the Afghan Whigs, or whatever, it's such a different trajectory than your first time around, which I'm sure is something an artist needs to hear as well as go after.
That's what you aspire to do as an artist, is keep pushing yourself. Like if we were to have come back and just done, anything that we've done before, it's sort of like, who cares, we wouldn't. I mean, I enjoyed doing the reunion tour, but we did like 60-something shows. I mean, I was singing songs that were half my life ago. So you have to have something in front of you that, appeals to the person you are now. So I think we've done an excellent job of representing ourselves as who we are now.
I do love it, man. It was a pleasure talking, as always. I hope we do get to see you in Louisville sooner than later, whether in a show or just stopping by.
I'm going to make it a point to play a gig in Louisville, Kyle.
I hope so.
So there you go.
All right, take care, sir.
All
right, bye.